Yes, hello producer friends. Today I'm back with another video about a operator patch I made that is supposed to mimic a bass guitar. And obviously it doesn't sound exactly like a bass guitar, but that's kind of not the point of it. It's supposed to kind of just fill that role in your productions that maybe you want to sound a little bit more organic. I've used this exact patch in a bunch of different productions, and it always turns out really nice. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to package it up kind of nicely, just add some macros and stuff and give it away for free because I think it's a super simple patch and it definitely could be useful to some people who are doing more like R&B or like neo soul kind of funk stuff, even maybe some lo-fi hip hop stuff with some different processing on here. But anyways, I'll get into it. Okay, so first you're going to have this macro here, which is going to kind of transform the bass from a finger bass to a plucked bass, or excuse me, a picked bass. So you can hear how this sounds. Right, just gives it a little more attack, opens up the filter a little bit, adds a little bit more harmonics, which typically kind of happens whenever you are picking a bass with a pick. Next macro is going to be the glide time, which basically at its lowest point is going to simulate like a hammer-on, kind of like this. And at its highest point is going to simulate like maybe a big slide or something like this. So next is going to be the amp amount, which is just the dry wet of the amp and cabinet simulator in Ableton. This just kind of gives it body, makes it sound less flat, less synthy, a little bit more texture, and it makes it sound like it's actually coming out of a speaker in front of you rather than immediately out of a synth. Kind of dirties up the signal a little bit as well. It does a lot of different things, but typically the default setting is at 92.5 because I think it sounds better and more realistic like a bass guitar when the amp amount is pretty high. So that's where I keep it at, but I'll demo it real quick. So you can hear it gets really a little bit fuzzier and stuff, and I actually mapped it to where you can't go below 50% just to keep that real bass guitar kind of sound. And then the amp gain is going to be basically the amount of distortion that is going to be added to it. So how hard you're going to drive it through that amp. I'll demo that real quick. So as you can see between the finger and the picked bass setting, the amp gain, the amount, the glide time, there's a good couple combinations that you can get here for various different styles. I'm just going to play around with it a little bit, maybe play some more like some really well-known bass lines and try to match the tone a little bit just so you can kind of get an idea of what the possibilities are here. So I'll just mess around with it for a second. Cool, yeah, so that should give you a good idea of kind of what this rack is about and kind of how you can use it. It's pretty simple, but that's kind of the point of it. It just can quickly take up that role of a bass guitar if you need it and you don't have a bass lying around. Yeah, so I really hope you enjoy it. If you go download it, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and hit the link in the description to download the rack. Peace.